Okay, in this video, I'm going to break down a retrospective, but look at from the defensive side. I'm going to look at the Barracks, which is a double boosted room. This is one of our key rooms that we defend and we want to funnel people into. We have two of our best defenders, which is myself and Nash. When I say good defenders, I mean the key teams that we have are really, really beast. My Min Guardians are close to 300k. Nash is, I believe, over 300k. I believe his defenders are also 300k. We both have Ultron, so it's a really beefy defense, and it's what we want to funnel people into the kill zone, leverage the double boost to make other people's lives much, much harder. So let's take a look at how we think about defensive analysis, and this will give you a good idea of what a good defense is. So defense starts with understanding the context of the room that you're in. So in this case, the Barracks is one of the key rooms that you have to defend, so we want to put some of our best defenses in there. In addition to that, because it's a kill zone where we have the double boost, we can amplify everything. So having a really, really strong team here, for example, means it's so much harder for the enemy to get through because they have to fight through the double boost with defense up and defense down on their units. It's just really, really problematic for the teams. So that's what we want to leverage. So you'll see here, we boost everything up front. Our alliance is not the best at boosting right on time because not everyone's just checking their game all the time. So it's good to have a couple defenses that you can boost right away so you can prep before the attack happens. So the first thing I look at here is they took in a brawler team versus my Wakanda. My Wakandas are not built up at all. They're only like 160k, so it's nothing like to really write home about. I don't even have the passive into Shuri. The T4 into Shuri's passive. So the fact that they were punching down by this much and still had a combat cancel is very encouraging for my defense. So I was pretty happy with that. Wakandans are one of the best teams to benefit from deflect because M'Baku heals off of blocks. All the other guys are a little squishy, so being able to get to that second turn is a lot more amazing because M'Baku doesn't taunt his first turn. So it's just a really, really, really good setup with defense up and blocks. It just makes everything really, really hard to get through. So I really like them for defense in this situation. They're also really good on offense too, so it's not really like a one or the other thing. It just depends on the use case that you're trying to do them in. So when I see this, I just think, okay, so that's a good defense. Obviously, that's not ground bacon that you're going to put Wakandans together. If you have them, it doesn't make sense to split them up. So, that's pretty self-explanatory, but it's a confirmation that I should keep them on defense, and I should keep them in front because deflects are pretty good. Okay, next, someone then takes them out. Another pretty powerful team. Now, Avengers are actually really good against Wakandans for many reasons, and punching down this much is and almost losing still is pretty crazy to me. I'm guessing that if I had some more T4s into my Wakandans, I might have won this, which is even scarier. So this is, as far as a mid-tier team punching down into a Wakanda's team, it's kind of scary that they almost lost. So that also is encouraging for my defense. My next defense here is this kind of like hodgepodge / Mercs plus Deadpool Cable team, and this team isn't really meant to win. It's more to just annoy people to hopefully bring a powerful team, and that's exactly what happens here. They brought a Guardians team in, which is way overkill for this team. In fact, they're punching down 30k, so that's a great win for me, in my opinion. This team is just not meant to do much. My goal is to hopefully bait out a stronger team like this, and that makes me very happy. Now, this is probably a misplay by them, so you can't count on this every single time. So I check this all the time when I get attacked, and if I start seeing people just easily defeat it, then I might switch out some of these tunes. Okay, then Min Guardians. Everyone knows about Min Guardians. They're really good. Combat canceling is great for them, especially when they use a Brotherhood team. You really should be using the Venom Ant-Man team if you can. Everybody should be doing it because even if you don't kill them, a lot of times you're going to cripple the team, so it's really, really good use here. So not really much to say about this other than that's a really good team. If you notice here, they took down our med bay, so this is actually only 280k, otherwise this would be a lot higher. So then they use power armor on my Kree team, which, great. They punch down 30k and use power armor. Kree's actually really good against power armor, but, this much of a punch down is pretty hard to do. Because remember, at this time, they also lost their armory, and we still had our Barracks up, I believe. So this is the Barracks that they're attacking. So they're also I also have basically like a 15% boost to my team. So this is actually more of an even fight than you think, and you do kind of want to punch down, and you notice like you killed two of their teams. So this is a pretty scary team for them. Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised they were able to pull this out. I'm guessing they just were able to do enough damage, and yeah, but this is actually not a good matchup for Power Armor in general, because it's too easy for them to one-shot some character like Rescue or Falcon and just ruin your day. So that's interesting look. Okay, they also try to take Brotherhood into my defenders, and they try to punch up quite a bit because my team is really like 290k, 295k really in effective power with the boost discrepancy. And I mean, you don't really want to take Brotherhood into defenders anyway, so this is a good one by me. Okay, then they take an X-Men. X-Men is built to take down teams like Guardians and all that stuff, so, you know, that's fine. That's kind of what you expect, and that's really the goal of these defenses. And I was able to get a victory here, so that means this team got a combat cancel, a victory here, and then that means they're going to have to use at least 3 teams to beat it. So that's really great. This team then takes in a hybrid Brotherhood plus Fury team, which is crazy because why would you break up your Fury Shield team when Fury Shield could beat this team? So I don't know. This guy's probably not very good at the game. So, you know, I don't usually win this many battles with defenders, so part of it is the armory boost, but or their armory being down. But anyways, these are all meta teams, so it's not really much to say about them. Okay, then they finally clean this up. So makes me very happy. This makes me very happy they used another Brotherhood. Super, super happy when they use Brotherhood on defenders. It's just really a waste of Brotherhood teams, so pretty happy about that. Pretty happy they had to use 3 teams, including a Captain Marvel team to clean this up, so pretty happy about that. Then they use Sinister Six to clean my defenders. I mean, Sinister Six is a really good defenders killer, and they probably should have taken Sinister Six directly into this fight from the get-go, although it would have been pretty rough for them to do that much of a punch-up, but it's probably better to start with that. But anyway, so then they boost my Brawlers team, and they combat cancel. This is a really interesting team that they try to bring in because I'm guessing they were trying to nuke down somebody really quickly, but the problem is that you really got to focus Ms. Marvel, and their first turn burst is so huge, and like you could just, this team doesn't have enough damage mitigation really to solve that, because American Chavez will dispel the taunt on Captain America if she goes first, or they might kill him, or Miles might disrupt them, so it can get pretty dicey here. And I just really like this Brawlers team. It's really solid. It's not, I used to have Captain Marvel on my Brawlers team, and it was better, but I think this is still a pretty solid team. Now, I might move this on offense if I move to a different room, or if I get another defensive team in here, but since I'm in a defensive room, I keep them on defense here. Then they use an X-Men team on my Brawlers team. Awesome. This is a great win when you have to use X-Men to beat another team. So I'm super happy with the defensive performance here. Then they take in a feeder. No, they try to do power armor on my Ultron team. Barely dent it, which is great. So pretty happy with that, although who knows what my cooldowns will be. But Captain Marvel is also still full health, so pretty happy about this as well. They then beat up my... So my hand team is meant, again, to just be more of a nuisance than anything else. It's not really meant to win. In fact, I may take Hand Sentry out of this team because it's not really meant to do much. So the fact that they have to use bigger tunes on this is fine, but it's not, you know, it's not really meant to do much. Then they combat canceled this Fury team against Nash's 300k defenders, and remember, the defenders team is more like 350, 360k effectively, so this is too weak of a Fury teams, but this is one of the beauties of having a really strong defender team. Once your defenders get into like the 300k territory, if you can get them where their boosts are down from their armory and your barracks are up, it just makes it really hard even for Fury to beat these teams, and it makes it so they have to take in like 2 teams. This is something I've thought about doing, is bringing my defenders up even a little higher, but there's just so many other teams to work on, so I just haven't. But if you have a 300k defenders team, it's really good in these situations, so it's not useless. Then they were actually able to beat this Guardians with this Brotherhood, which is quite a big of a punch-up. I was actually very, very surprised by this. Yeah, it was you know, I don't know. They must have had really good RNG or something like that. I don't know exactly how they were able to win, because that's kind of scary. So, okay, then they take a X-Men team and they only kill Punisher, so that's another huge win for this Defenders. So we're just like mowing these guys down left and right now. It's a pretty, they're having a really rough time. And to be fair, they don't have armory up, so it just makes their lives a lot harder. So. But these are all good things. This is why these defenses are really good, and why I think about like the highest team power for a defense is very, very important on these meta teams, because like that extra 20k can make or break the difference, and mean like many combat cancels versus them taking like one shot at it. Okay. Then they take a Brotherhood into the Wakandans team. You know, great use of Wakandans. If you bait out a Brotherhood, it's just really, really awesome to do that. So pretty happy with that. Then they actually beat, this is leftovers of the Defenders team with the higher Defenders team. Okay, great. Well, but I mean, they already did their job. They baited out all meta teams, so this is still all very, very good right now. They used this Spider-Verse hybrid to beat this other hybrid. So this is where I would actually question this defense a little bit. You have two healers, Ant-Man, Wasp, and Hawkeye, so it's not really doing much. I would be tempted to say you could take out Hawkeye on this and bring him on offense, and you'd probably have the same effect, to be honest. Or you can make a better team in general. This is where I would question some of the team composition, because this team itself is not really scary. It's easy to beat, and you don't have to really punch up that much to beat it. So if this is a nuisance team, that's fine. But that being said, Ant-Man is really good on offense with the Brotherhood team and Venom. So leaving him on defense here for this team that doesn't really do much, it seems like a waste of potential resources. Even if you use the regular Brotherhood on offense, it's still useful to have Ant-Man just in case you want to switch him in, for example. So I would totally switch up this defense, and if you want to put the healers on them or whatever, it's fine. But like, the idea is that you want more flexibility on offense, so don't use tunes that you might be more contributable on offense. Then they use a Brawlers team to beat up this Kree team. That's pretty normal. I'm not sure if this is the order of the people, but he probably should put Kree Cyborg next to Noble for the damage, I'm guessing, but this might not be correct, so I don't know. But anyway, so Brawlers, baiting out a Brawlers team to beat a Kree team, that's really solid, so there's nothing really wrong with that. I think that's solid, yeah. Ultron team, so they finished off my Ultron team with an X-Men team, so they had to use two big teams on my team, a Power Armor and an X-Men team, so very happy about that. That Ultron team did its job. I didn't make the super most powerful Ultron team, although I did put my Captain Marvel there, but my Captain Marvel isn't super scary, so the fact that he uses two teams is really solid. Then they use this Fantastic Four hybrid team to beat this hodgepodge villains team. This villains team is not really that good. I don't know if I would say there's better use of resources here. Like, I might consider putting Crossbones to make it a little scarier, but overall, it's just more of a nuisance team. It's only 136k, so it's not a big deal. And he baited out some of the better tunes. As far as like Fantastic Four goes, even just them without Sue Storm is still pretty scary. So it's a pretty good team. Okay, then, hand against hand, that's, whatever this hand team is supposed to be, just there to be a nuisance, and they took a much stronger hand team in there, so seems like a good win. Then they were able to take Ultron into beating his Ultron team, so that makes a lot of sense. They had to break up their Power Armor team. They had to take Ultron out of defense to beat this. I'm guessing this is what they set it up as, but that means they don't have a Power Armor team. That means they don't have Ultron defense, so this is a huge win, in my opinion, and yeah, really, really good setup that even though they one-shot it, they took a higher-powered Ultron team into Ultron defense, and they also took out the Rocket and Star-Lord, so they don't have Min-Guardians on defense. They don't have Power Armor offense, so, if that's what you can do, that's great. So hopefully this helps illustrate like kind of how I think about defense. Now, most of these are meta teams, so it's probably not groundbreaking. I'm going to do another retrospective on a different room, but wanted to show you guys a defense heavy room to give you guys an idea of like how I think about defense on my own